Okay, welcome back everybody. Righto, so we will move into the discretionary funding allocations and we will do them in the order that are presented to us. So referencing page 104 to 269, the first organisation is Central Kids Rewe Street Kindergarten, and they are wanting to replace fencing for the first stage of the Marako upgrade project, and they are asking for $3,500. So are there any comments to make in regard to this request first up, and then we will just start from the other end with our amounts. So has anyone got any comments to make about Central Kids? Kane?
Yeah, I think they've made a really good effort to do fundraising before they've turned up asking for the sort of final amount, and I think that's excellent, which is exactly what we want to see, like projects being finished. And I think also they're feeding people, providing food to their kids and their families and the community. So I think that's really important, actually.
Yep. Any other comments? Okay, we'll start with Bruce. How much from you, Bruce?
I'll be honest, I'll put $1,000 for
okay
at the moment.
Yep. Jill?
1,000.
Sally?
Oh, well, I give them the lot. Whoops. I've got too much money, obviously. I'd give them 2,000. I think we're looking at the young, and when they grow, we grow, and it's all about community.
Cool. Kane?
Yeah, 2,500.
John? 2. Lou? And I'm going to go with Kane and go for 2.5 because I fully agree. I think they've done a great presentation, the fact that they've done a heap of fundraising, and it's just a great project all around from the community, the kids. It's an asset. Great.
Seen it, I've actually been down the head of the site. They certainly need to be safe.
So what do we get?
So the average came out as 1,857 and 14 cents.
1,8. Should we go 1,860? Just
2,000.
Great. Just be a little bit careful on just to remember that hopefully you've all done just a quick tally up to know roughly where your ballpark's sitting as well. Okay, our next one is page 141 to 291, and that was for, is that 291 if I got that right?
No, it's not. 291 is appendix 3.
Oh, right. Okay, ignore me saying it's 2. So page 141 for the grandstand. So this was to repaint the timber work on the Albert Park grandstand. Now, I just want to let you know that council council lease the land, but there is a grandstand trust that's in charge of the grandstand. So there's not any other funding from council to help pay for the paint there. So just so you know. So any other comments about the grandstand?
So who owns the grandstand?
The trust.
Okay.
The trust, just to develop that, the trust owns the grandstand, and the rugby clubs and everyone that use it have to pay for the facility that they use there. But it's got public toilets and everything, so it's a public facility run by the trust. Russell Easton is the actual chair of that.
So any other comments around that?
Yeah, just following on from who are we, sort of one of the things that I've been picking up is how the town's presented as you arrive and coming through and then leaving. So this is one of the buildings that people are going to see as they drive through, and it's also there's a lot of people, as Lou will probably agree with, coming to Te Awamutu to play sport and things. So I actually think it's actually quite important that we support this. Because I don't think they've got funding from elsewhere other than the payment from the club. So I think we probably should help them out a fair bit with this.
Any other comments? Yeah, it sounds like they are struggling, and I know that the actual job is 9,000, so they haven't tried to hit us up for the whole lot. They're only asking for part of it. And there was a comment in there that did say that they're having trouble trying to find funding for that painting. So, yeah, unfortunately, is an expensive job. So anyway, Bruce, we'll start down your end so that way I don't miss anyone out.
Yeah, I agree with everyone, what they've said before, that they have no other funding stream, they said, and yes, I put 4 on it. 4,000.
Jill?
I've put $1,500 and just wonder if they've approached Resines and Dulux, who will quite often for organisations like that give them a reduced amount for the cane.
Sally?
And I'll give them 1,500, and I like Joe's idea about approaching the suppliers, paint suppliers, and a local painter.
That is a local painter, Ross Fleming. Yep. Kane?
Yeah, I'm going to go 5.
5.
Yep.
Yep. John? 2.5. Lou? 4. 4. Okay, and I went to 2. And I would have loved to have given them more, to be honest, but it's just basically trying to spread it out.
So I've got 2,928.57.
3. Okay, next on the list is the Kihikihi Police House in Temple Cottage. They would like to purchase a new vacuum cleaner. I don't know if there's a lot of discussion about that, but at $347.83. Done. Are we happy to just give them the whole lot? You don't want to give them any?
Yep, no, I don't want to give them any.
Okay, so you,
Give a vacuum cleaner. I'll find them one.
yeah, they do need a decent one. So what happens if one person says 0? That, oh, no, I think for $347, everyone else is happy with that. So we'll go with that one. Oh, whoops, I missed ka order. But we've determined that they didn't meet the criteria, so they'll have to try again later. So we've got $347.83 for the police house. Kihikihi Rugby Sports Club. So they, as we heard tonight, want to purchase a cooktop oven, range hood and fridge to replace old equipment. They're looking down the barrel of $4,299.13. So any comments in regard to that one, John?
I suggest we just pay for one particular item, either the fridge, the stove, or the range hood.
Oh, yep, that's an idea.
I think in sort of hindsight, the fridge is probably worth more now, you know, because they'll have stuff that they need to preserve and all that sort of stuff. So my suggestion is we look at giving them enough to cover the fridge.
That's quite a good idea. Kane, your thoughts?
So my thinking was that there's actually not that many Kihikihi applicants, and I was actually similar idea to John, but I was going to go 2. So I was going to go 2,645 for the range and the other thing, not the fridge, but whatever works.
Yep.
So I was thinking that's what I was sort of thinking 2 instead of 3.
Okay. Lou?
The advent of sport and the problems that we're having at the moment with overuse in grounds, Kihikihi is going to become the ground out there, a very important integral part of our future.
Okay.
So I think that club would possibly be a part of that expansion over time, and I think that we should look at this very positively. So I'm going to say a figure of about $2,000, just to start this overall roll.
Okay, Bruce.
I know that's exactly what I had, Lou, so I must think likely.
Okay, so we've gone 2 for Bruce. Jill? 2. Sally? 2. Kane? 3. John 2, and Lou was 2, and I went a half, so I went 2,150. Because I was really impressed with the fact that they've been fundraising. They've done a lot. I wish we could give them more, actually, but yeah, there's lots of members. It's going to benefit people in the future. It did
So the average I came up with 2164 and 29 cents.
2-2?
2-2.
Madam Chairman,
Yes.
as you pointed out, if need be, they could come back to us in the next financial year and apply for something that's.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
cover the whole cost again, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in agreement so far, Kieran.
Okay, I didn't put any comments on these guys. Righto, so the next one is the Kowaiau Trust for a van, and they have asked us for $2,000. So any comments? Remember, Jill, you're not allowed. You've abstained from commenting. Lou?
Got to be quite aware, they're already going to Bromley and Cambridge. So they're applying to all three.
Yep, they have applied to all three.
We've got to be considering that as well.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, well, that would actually
Two.
be good, Director.
So Pirongia did not provide them with any funding, and Cambridge, I think, gave them the 2, if I remember correctly. Bear
So,
with me.
Yeah, they did.
Yes, they did.
Okay,
so
okay. Yeah, no, good point, Lou.
I'm dead keen to help them, but I couldn't, they need $22,000 and I didn't really get an idea that where the money was going to come from. So if we give them $2,000, Cambridge gives them 2, I couldn't see how that was going to get them across the line. Dead keen to help them though, but I don't know. I'm not quite sure, to be honest.
Oh, I suppose that they've got other, like they'll try other places. We're probably just the first cab off the block, I suppose. And they've got 12 months to be able to use it. Yep. So, okay. Bruce, put you on the spot.
I did, I'll be honest, I put 2,000 for it.
Yep. Sally,
That's
2,000.
Kane,
2,000.
John, Lou, 2, me 2. So they're getting all of theirs. You don't want an average? They are doing a great job, and the fact that they've already got, was it 23 kids under their wing already, that's fantastic. So really excited about the work that they're doing. So to be able to help them is great.
What did concern me is when they said they stretched close to Hamilton. I thought, well, that's getting just about off out of our area. But
Yeah. But valid point, we can keep an eye on that. Right, so next is the Pirongia Forest Park Lodge. They would like a vaulted toilet. I did laugh when I saw this, the name of this, a vaulted toilet. Wondered quite what you did on a vaulted toilet. And then I read a bit more about it and learned what a vaulted toilet was. It wasn't what I thought. Anyway, they do a great job up there at the Pirongia Forest Park Lodge and have lots of kids and different groups all staying up there. So thoughts on any comments to make about what they're asking for and what sort of support we can provide, Bruce?
what does the Pirongia Award give?
Oh, yeah. No, that's what they asked for, wasn't it?
No, 3,000.
No, they didn't give them any money.
No.
Kieran, also, I think maybe, is it because they didn't provide any financial accounts for their last grant? I think that's why they declined it.
Yeah.
Is there any urgency on this? Can anyone remember? I wonder if we get them to update their accountant stuff to us in.
Yeah, according to my records here, no, they have not provided an accountability report for funding they've received from the Awamutu Community Board for the last 2 financial years. So, and certainly that is something that the community board, the application form says that the community board will be considering when they're considering allocation of funds.
On the grounds of that, Madam Chair, I think we should consider this, that we need that information. And until they supply it, we will not consider their application.
Yeah. I think I'm with you. How does everybody else feel? I mean, it's not that far away until the next round, and it gives them time to provide us with that information. And, you know, it is a criteria that we've set and asked for. So I think we need to stick to our own rules. So, okay. Unfortunately, this time we can't help them. Right, the Rotary Club of Te Awamutu is looking to co-fund the New Zealand Wetland Trust and Rotary Open Day. So, interestingly, we haven't received anything from them either. So I am assuming that, seeing as we're saying that we're not going to do so for the Pirongia Forest Park Lodge, we need to do the same for the Rotary. Yep, all righty. So we'll put a 0 there too.
Excuse me, Chair, are we going to provide that feedback to?
Yep, definitely will. Yep, we'll let them know that that was the reason for that they've been declined, absolutely. And then they have an opportunity to try again later. Righto, the Te Awamutu Army Community Cadets unit, sorry, there's not units, there's only one of them. So they were after some funding to purchase fit for purpose compass. I think they want to, that's not quite worded right. They want compasses anyway. So they are asking for $954.35. See, they were out on Anzac Day doing a great job. And Poppy Day, okay. Bruce or anyone, first of all, comments before we do money, any comments to make? I see they have got a few more numbers, so they're obviously having a bit of a growth there. It's definitely, you know, this fits our criteria with preferably being an asset, so these will be something the club will hold on to as long as they don't lose them, I suppose. Go push and lose them somewhere. Lose them in the vaulted toilet. Sorry, I need to be serious. Sorry. Okay, so amounts of funding for the cadets.
I gave the whole lot, 954.
Okay, a whole lot.
The whole amount from me too.
Jill, Sally.
600 from me.
Okay.
2 expensive ones.
Yep.
On the whole lot.
Yep. John.
No, exactly.
Oh, you're not allowed. That's right. Sorry. Nor's Lou. And I was definitely the whole lot too. I thought they do a good job. It's a great service they offer. So I'm going to make the call. It's not a huge amount. So let's go with the 9, give them the whole lot.
Yep.
Please. 954.35. Okay, the Te Awamutu Brass Band. So they need to replace their aging and broken blinds. We've previously given them a little bit of money the last few years. They are asking for $2,000. Comments?
Madam Chair, I'm quite supportive of the brass band. They're an ageing group and they struggle to keep the maintenance of their building with their instruments and everything else. So I would be think this is a very positive thing to do. They do great community service.
They do,
and,
always.
You know, as I say, without them would be without a brass band.
Yeah,
actually the whole area.
Thanks, Lou. Kane, did you have a comment?
For information, the primary award. Please. I should have that.
Pirongi Award gave them $400.
Yes, a similar comment to support what Lou said, but also, yeah, just coming through the town again, they make a point in their application around, you know, it's seen as you come through around the town. And I had a good look at it. I thought, yeah, they look a bit tacky and broken and all the rest of it. So, yeah, I'm supportive of probably not the full amount, but giving them a reasonable
chunk towards it. Okay. All right. Any other comments? Oh,
I
yeah,
think the quote was out of town.
yeah. I do know in their defence that those sorts of places make a big difference in the price of blinds. Unfortunately, I know when we recently tried to get blinds at Kainga Aroha, we tried to go local, but they were nowhere near as competitive as where we went in the end. So yes, noted. Thanks, Sally. But I think, yeah, yep, absolutely. So Bruce,
I think Jill should go first, and then I'll go next. Oh, no, it's $2,000.
2,000.
Jill, you were 2. So Bruce is 2. Hang on, where am I up to? Brass band. So sorry, just get up. Bruce is 2, Jill's 2. 15 for Sally, Kane, John, Lou, and I'll go 15.
So the average came to 1642.86.
Hang on, one, Gogi, one.
Well, it's $1,642.86.
2 grand.
17. Righto. Done. Okay, Te Awamutu Māori Women's Welfare League holding te reo through Waiata classes, and they have asked for $5,450. So any comments on that one?
Can I just get clarification? You've got it's clear on the accountability 2021.
Oh yeah.
2250. Did we receive anything?
Yeah. It was for the community garden. Remember they? Do you? Yep. To buy fertilizer and stuff. Gina did it for them, didn't you? Yeah.
And probably another question for the board. Does anyone see how many people were going through that?
Yeah, I did check that, and I think resources for te reo Waiata classes 8 to 10 students.
I think it's I think it's quite a lot for 8 to 10 people. That was what I was what I was thinking. And then if you only fund, say 1 or 2 people, does the whole thing fall over, or you know what I mean? So is it all in or nothing? You know what I mean, or nothing, or like go ahead? I probably would have liked to hear from them.
Think it will still go ahead. It's been running for a while, so they have been doing it for a while, because I know some people that go, and they are basically looking for funding to help support what they're doing. But I was with you, Kane, in the fact that numbers compared to the amount of money they're asking for, when there are things here that are asking for less money and are going to benefit hundreds of people and people into the future. We could say that te reo and these people will go out into the community and help grow the language, which would be really nice. But 10 people, $5,000, that's quite a lot.
Because part of that was for somebody's wages, and the other thing too that we have that provides te reo is the wainanga. And you can go there for free. And hey, listen, I get that it's a group and that and it's Kihikihi based, but the yoga class or pay for me to teach yoga.
Kihikihi. So, well, they're based in Kihikihi, the Women's Welfare League, but they are known as the Te Awamutu Māori Women's Welfare League. Okay, any other comments? Okay, Bruce. Oh, sorry, Gina. Oh, yes, actually, sorry. Nearly forgot that.
I certainly can't find any evidence of Sorry, I can't find any evidence immediately for the whether they provided an accountability form for last year's application.
Okay, so in light of the fact that we can't find it, which means it's more than likely not there, shall we leave this and let them know that they need to do their accountability and they can have another go? And maybe we actually suggest to them that they ask for a little bit less because it's such a small number of people. Yep. Yep. Okay, Te Awamutu Music Federation 50-year commemoration book, and they're looking for $1,500.
It's blank.
And theirs is blank as well. So we probably have to do the same there. Unless they can provide, with these couple of blank ones, could we possibly say that we'll give a little bit more time for you to have a really good look?
No.
Well, it's just in case it's our fault, like something, it may have been sent in, but it just for some reason hasn't got onto Karen's list. That's all I doubt it, but.
They have sent an accountability form. They didn't use all the money that's been returned.
How much?
They banked 600 and they used 300 according to their accountability.
Okay.
So they did provide an accountability.
They didn't follow the process, did they?
No. Were they clear that they were meant to give it back? So when it came back and
no, I haven't followed up on it. Sorry. So yeah.
I think we need to just follow this one up, and once we get that sorted out, they can reapply, because I think it was a bit time sensitive, this one, isn't it? I just can't quite remember.
Well, it's an operation, a lot of capital costs too, so.
Which one?
It's for the box.
Capital.
Yeah.
It's not it was.
So music.
Oh, no, the box, oh, I see what you mean.
Music,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, apologies. No, that's okay. Yeah.
I think if it's time sensitive, we make a decision on this one and then ask for that funds to be refunded, and then go ahead.
Oh, no. Well, it will be, they will need to know before the September concert, I think. We'll just need to double check when I am assuming that they would be wanting to put the book out in September when they celebrate the 50 years. So it will be time sensitive in that they would ideally want an answer before September. So let's just get that clarified. They can come back and we can pop it on the agenda for, sorry, pop it, yeah. So what we'll do is, it is time sensitive. We'll ask them for that money, get that sorted, and they can pop in an application between now and September. So maybe for next month, and we can do it properly then. Yep, because it's time sensitive, so it can come back to a different community board meeting. Yep. Okay, let's leave that one with a 0 for now.
So just to clarify, though, are you wanting to hold back some money to potentially support?
Yeah, well, so we'll see how we add up, and we'll just keep that in mind when we get to the end. Okay, Te Awamutu Rose Society wanting $4,000 for costs associated to running the annual Rose Show. Lou, you were not taking part in this one, that's correct? Yep. Okay, so any comments about the Rose Society and the Rose Show? Kane?
So I've just done a survey saying that people support the Rose Town. So I think we've got to support this, and I think we should be pretty generous about it. Check their financials. I think there's not that many, not the financials, but in terms of member base, it's pretty slim. So I think we need to help them out and get it across the line.
Okay, righto. Any other comments in regard to the Rose Show? Nope. Okay, Bruce, take it away.
Budget 4,000.
Okay,
Two.
Two from me.
Kane,
I think 4.
John. Oh, no, Lou. I went 2 as well, just because I needed to have some money for other people.
Can we, on that note, can we just quickly add up how much was spent to date, Kieran?
Oh, and that's a good idea.
I can give you, it's the average here is $3,000. And I can tell you before I add in the $3,000, you've got 13,000 left, just over 13,000 left in your kitty to spend.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you're happy to move for the 3,000 for the Rose Society.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, where are they going to get the last grand from? That's all.
Don't know. Let's come back to that maybe. Good question.
I'm willing to put mine up to 4.
Okay. All right, I'm feeling generous tonight. Let's go 4. Let's get them across the line. But we do need to have a bit of a conversation with them about that, you know, because it is.
Increasing the 4 as well, otherwise.
So I can go to 4, it's overruled by the chairperson, and that's fine, because I'm an absolute tighty.
Yeah.
I just give them 1,500 to pay the venue and they can fight. Struggle to do the rest. But hey.
What's the average age? It's like 7
Yeah.
floors.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's worth it. That's all it
Charging
takes.
1,500 from
You
there.
want to ask me?
Find somewhere else to do it.
So the Chelmsford Youth Development, so we're probably going to bypass them tonight because we haven't had accountability back from them.
Yep.
To be consistent, to Tamawai Trust. Again, sorry. So just to say that again, in case people listening didn't hear, we've given the Te Awamutu Rose Society $4,000. The Te Awamutu Youth Development, unfortunately, will be declined due to us not having received accountability information. And then, sorry, we move on to the Te Tamawai Trust, and they are wanting funding for Taku Wairua Kura program to be delivered in Waipa schools. They haven't previously asked us for any funding, and they are asking for $3,850. So any comments or feedback there, please?
Madam Chair, can we have the sum total from Cambridge and Romeo, please?
If I recall correctly, Parongia didn't give them anything because they were wanting to know what they wanted to know our school that they were going to provide instead of just they didn't really identify a school, so that's why they didn't provide anything.
And Cambridge did nothing as well.
Yes, Cambridge did not allocate any funding to them.
All right, any comments, Kane?
Anyone know anything about them other than what I'm.
Yeah, so I tried to do a little bit of research. I had a good look at their website, and certainly what they're wanting to deliver sounds really good. The feedback that they received on the website was also promising. I asked a couple of school teacher friends, one who travels around with her job, and she had not heard of it at this point. So I suppose, Brad, have you got a comment to add to that?
So these guys do work in the school where my children are, which is outside the district, and they do fantastic stuff. They bring in mentors from around, sports people and other high achievers, and for building leadership into in our situation, year 6 senior students. Before they go on to the next thing, so they do awesome program work. It is pretty cool. But yeah, they haven't identified a partner school that they're targeting here. So that's probably maybe some feedback to consider, but they are a pretty cool trust.
Can
Sorry.
I suggest potentially go back to them and say, look, we're not going to everyone agrees, not going to provide funding this time, but can someone come and speak to us about them, and then we can know a bit more about them, and give some more examples and targeted schools in that.
Yeah.
That would be really helpful.
That's something I would have liked to have seen too, because I see in here they're asking us to suggest what schools we would like them to go to. But I would rather see it come from the school a little bit to say we would like to have these people.
You've got a point.
100%, because if you as a identify a school, that creates a little bit of an inequity about why you're choosing a school over another one. So
Well,
I think
that too.
I think it's up to the school to partner with them.
Yeah.
It's outside our governance.
Yeah, so I think they need to go to some schools and say these schools are interested, and then we would look at supporting them, support those schools in our district. I don't really feel comfortable with us giving a large amount of money to something that all of the schools may turn around and go, oh, actually, we can't fit it at the moment.
And it's operational costs as well.
And
so
it's
targeting more CapEx works.
Yeah, that too. So any other comments? Are we happy with that, Lou?
Yeah, quickly, he would be competing directly with what PA Sports is already doing in the schools already. So you've got Ollie Ward and their team.
No, it's quite different.
No, and the mentoring side, they do that as well within the club itself through the range of sports that they actually identify and teach. So you've got that. I know what you're talking about, but this is outside. This is not just sport. It's right throughout the town. So it's a totally different thing. I know, but we've got people within our own community that are trying to do these sort of things now and developing into that. Ollie is developing into that infrastructure now. That's our next step in our budgeted plan.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, why bring somebody in from outside when we've already got people with a vehicle, operational skills, and running within our own town?
I think probably at this point the main differentiation with this is it's a kaupapa Māori perspective as opposed to what.
I'd even argue with that because most of our trained tutors are Māori themselves. So.
That's my only point of difference that I can see. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that over another
group, isn't it?
Yeah, they aren't from here.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so we're happy to sit tight and we can say to them, look, we'd reconsider, but we want to see some actual schools that have said they want to have them. Yep.
And they need to come and do a presentation to us.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. Okay, and then we move on to our final one, Toi Aringa Trust, which is the trust that is managing upgrading the Alpha out at Kihikihi. So they're wanting to bring the building up to building code to create a new community centre, and they have asked for $5,000, and this is the first time that they have asked for any funding. So thoughts on the Alpha project?
How much money remaining, please, Karen?
9,000.
Yeah, what he said, just over $9,000.
Madam Chair.
Sorry, John.
It's all right, you're waiting your thoughts. I was privileged to go through that building, and what Bill Harris is doing with his organisation is fantastic. And I think to bring it up so that it looks nice going into Kihikihi, considering what Kane's wants for the rugby ground and things like that, it will make a big, big difference. And I would support giving them $5,000.
Okay, any other comments about the Alpha and the restoration? Having a roll on this tonight. Sorry, any other comments in regard to the Alpha?
Yeah, I think we need to give them a really good start, and I think that would show that we support another Kihikihi-based application.
Yep. Luke?
I've actually done the same thing that John just said, walked right through it with Bill. It's a Heritage 2, I think, category Heritage 2. 1, this is category 1. Okay, thanks for that. So it has a heritage status. It actually goes back, it's one of the older buildings in Kihikihi, so it's got quite a lot of history. What he's proposing is a centre there. So as I said, he's done a lot of work with PD workers at the moment. And I'd be quite supportive of this. I think it's something that could add to our community quite a lot. Poor old Alf has been quite an eyesore in Kihikihi for a number of years. I
It
see he's
has.
removed that horrible fire escape and signage off it already, and he's replaced all the windows at the bottom. But he was, you know, so I'm quite supportive of it.
Yeah, and there's been some good community involvement out there too, with some various groups and organisations doing some of the work, just either voluntary or at cost. So that's good to see the community getting in behind it as well. Righto.
5.
Jill,
5 from me.
Sally, 5.
And that's 5 from me.
Kane's a 5. 5 from John. Jeepers. Yeah. I better say 5 as well, hadn't I? Or I'll be in trouble. So no, 5. Yeah, he'll be after me for that one. So 5. Okay. So that must leave us with 4,000 left. We have got, it would be good to just leave a little bit definitely and not use completely all of it. But I just wanted to double check, is there anyone that you would like to try and give a little bit more to, in light of the fact that we have got a little bit left over? Or are we happy to leave it where we've set everything?
Madam Chair, I think that there was one that we discussed that we were talking about, you know, looking at a later date. But if anybody has an urgent thing or we have operational expenses, I think it's good to have some leeway.
Yeah, that's why I'd like to leave a bit there, but I just want to check that we, pardon? Oh, yes, you may. Sorry, John. Ooh.
What was the one that we were thinking of? Was the
book,
Rose,
the Music Federation for,
Rose?
I think they wanted
Society.
1,500.
Rose Society got 4,000, right? Yeah, cool.
Would the committee, and through you, Madam Chair, think that it would be worth approaching the Music Federation? I mean, and if they could give accountability or give us something, we could look at that and say that we passed it conditionally or applied, in, you know, if they did supply the figures within a time frame.
Yeah, how do we?
That would be pragmatic.
Yep. Are we happy to do that? That we support it for the full amount for $1,500 on the condition that they provide.
I'd probably go a bit less than that, but about 1,000.
Yep, 1,000.
But however you want to do it.
Yep. Do we want to give them $1,000, subject to them providing that bit of accountability information that we need in that particular case? Seeing as they did do the accountability, but they, you know, because I think in this case there could easily have been a misunderstanding that they didn't realise they were meant to provide the balance back. Okay, so yep, we'll do that. So we'll pop in $1,000 subject to that. So that leaves us with $3,000 left. Do we want to leave $3,000 in our coffers, or if I was putting any of them up, I was probably wondering whether the Kihikihi Rugby Club, but
have we paid for the flag and jackets?
no, yes, that's
Money's already been set aside,
Yep.
so yeah.
Yep. Yep. No, that's all done. Yep.
Oh, yeah, my council paid for that.
All right. So are we happy with where we've landed on this?
So have we, how much we're going to spend on? I'm sort of the mind we just spend a whole lot, but we need to keep it out there.
It's just good to keep a little bit in case someone has a late, you know, there's something comes up or that we want to do something. So I'd leave a little bit. So I think probably 3 heaps. Yep. Is that right? 3 now?
Yeah.
Yep. Let's leave it at that. If we're happy. Cool. Okay, let's move these then. So can I please have someone to move that we receive the report of Kieran Phillips, Governance Officer, titled Discretionary Fund Allocations, and B, allocate the grants from the community discretionary fund as stated in the following schedule. But I'm not going to read them all out again. Is that all right? Do I have someone to move that? John, second. Jill, all in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. No, not
I think just to make sure people don't have any conflicts.
That's correct, and those two people do.
Oh, yes, sorry, good spotting. Yep, no, so Jill can't. So let's start again with who can move it. So Bruce can move it and Kane to second. Okay, all in favour?
Aye.
Against? That's all right, carried. I cleaned after that, missed it. Thanks, Brad. I was thinking they were just moving the whole lot, not participating. Okay, so on to item 12, which is the board members. Where do I fit my late items? At the very, very end. Board members' reports from meetings attended on behalf of the Te Awamutu Community Board. Have we got any feedback from our community that we need to bring to the table, John?
The other week I went to a meeting at the Stockade and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was able to make some comments.
Gina?
Brad disappeared. He'd done his bit. He had a meeting on site prior, and I'm not sure what he was discussing, but there were some lively discussions about possibly putting houses on it. There was some negative, some of the Maori League women were there. They were sort of anti it to a degree. I've never been there before, and just looking at it, it's a wonderful site. So there's possible houses going on there, but they'd be very well screened. They're looking at putting a skate park there. There could be a community building there. There was even a suggestion that they put a marae there. It's such a beautiful spot, central to town, and it's something that needs to be enhanced and kept as a green area. I suggested, because it's a historical site, if they could put plaques similar to what's in Parongia on one of the redoubt sites on Auburn Close, it tells you what is situated on that place and things like that. Disabled people are moving out further down the road. So there's a lot of promise and a lot of time's going to be done into it, and it's going to take a while to move ahead, but there's interest. It's really, and I would like to go again. And I really enjoyed meeting the people and having putting my name there. And I own several properties in Kihikihi, so I am a Kihikihi ratepayer. and I have built a house there, so it's quite neat. Yeah.
Yep, cool. Thanks, John. Thanks for being able to go along to that, because I got sides lined on that one. So thank you, really appreciate that. Kane, did you have
Yeah, I went along to the Te Awamutu Primary board meeting and just was involved in the meeting, and they knew that I was from the community board, so just trying to connect with the community on that one.
Awesome, nice, thank you. Anyone else? Jill, you've been...
Just a little bit with the trust, which I'll probably... A bit with the trust that I was talking about, that I will... getting a bit more involved there, which I'll talk about more at the next meeting, because it all starts next week. It's quite exciting. But just if it's not quite a meeting, but the Swarbrick Park that is being designed at the end of Swarbrick Drive for the younger children is fantastic, and it's just being utilised so much. It's just absolutely great. I just wondered, Brad, because most times I've been there, there's been little children and that's been fine. But in the weekend I was there and it started off with little kids, and then you've got these really big, like 17 and 18-year-olds on it. My impression was that it was just for the young ones. Is that right?
It's targeted at the younger ones. It's not exclusive to the younger ones, so people can walk in there and use it. It's not restricting.
Oh, okay.
Not restricting to anyone.
So So no, yeah, say it's usually just the little ones there. And when the bigger ones come, it gets a bit more dangerous. So I just thought it was just for the little ones and maybe there should be some signage. But if it's for anybody, then that's just got to be looked at. It's just a bit dangerous when the big kids came along because the little kids are all supervised. But yeah, I just wondered. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else? John? Thank you.
Can I speak to that? Because where it is, Jill, you can't stop anybody because you go down there and it's a dead end and you don't know who's down there. My granddaughter came down from Auckland. She's been down there 3 times. She's got to meet one of the neighbours' kids. Yeah, there's cars, there's people, all sorts. I've never seen the road so busy and people, while the road is still closed, it's good because people can go down their park, have a picnic, and I've talked to people that have done that, and yeah, it's been utilised. And yes, it's a brilliant concept, and I'm pleased that it's there. And you know, we've got some playgrounds around town, like the one in Kihikihi. I had a look at that with Lou the other day. It's fantastic, and it's nice that I got some places I can take my granddaughter now to go to. Yeah.
So the one in John Rushford Park opens on the 29th of April. Everyone's invited to come down and yeah.
I will give my apologies to that. I'll be in Okarori with having a reunion. Sorry.
Okay, and so I attended the business awards. So big congratulations to Urban Miners who featured on the night and also won a major award and also got lots of highly commended. So it was awesome to see Urban Miners. So that thank you to everybody that goes along and helps us with that project, because it's to acknowledge you guys as well. And especially Lou as our main organizer of us to get along to those events. So it was a really nice night, and it was also nice to see another environmentally friendly business take out the major award in Treadlight, who recycle tyres and turn them into things like dressage arenas and playgrounds and things. So that was pretty neat. And considering they started, I think if I got this right, just before COVID, they've really, and now are a national business, is pretty exciting. But yeah, no, it was a great night. I also just have stepped down from my position on the chamber. We've decided that I'm probably more use not being on the Chamber of Commerce than being on it because of things like conflict of interest. So, and it also enables me to allow a bit more time for community board. I did want to ask Brad, I've had some people ask why the middle bridge took so long to open, because they were really late getting it in. Surely it should have been completely ready to go instead of taking quite so long to actually open. So I was just wondering.
Weather conditions prevented us from getting in to do the...
To put the bridge in.
To do the ramps of it.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. That's good feedback. Thank you for that. I can go back now. And other than that, I'm sure there was something else, but it's slipped away for now. So that's oops, I do. Sorry, I spoke at Rotary last Tuesday and just gave them an update on the results of the Who Are We Te Awamutu, and just did a nice little reminder for them to take part in the waste minimisation submission, and yeah, and just thank them for all the work that they do in that space and supporting urban miners, and encourage them to do a submission there, seeing as that's their area. So yeah, that's probably me. I think, Jill, have you thought of something else?
I have. And it's, I just think I went along with a lot of other people to the Anzac service yesterday at 11 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
And I have sent Lou an email, but I just think behind the scenes how much work he did. I just really appreciate that, and I'd like to say that publicly. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to talk all that too. awesome job. The speaker system now is nailed. We can all hear properly. It was a lovely service. So thank you to Lou and the RSA and John, because you're on that committee as well. So yeah, I agree with Jill. Thank you very much. We're very lucky. But I think it's something that they're quite keen for us to help with in the future, aren't you? So that's something we need to have a look at. Thank you.
Yeah, I won't answer. Just thank everybody for the accolades. It's a team, not just one person. There is a lot of work, but it's a team. I attended the ratepayers, Kihikihi ratepayers and residents group, and we took Eric Vanderwell out there, and also we spoke a little bit about the cul-de-sacs and the ideology of the new cycleway, which is now to the arena. So that's good. So they just developed that with Eric, so that was excellent. And we had some general discussions over transport and Kihikihi in general. The one grizzle was that the chime's not loud enough. They grizzled about that. And I thought, well, crikey, they've had no chimes through now, they're grizzling not loud enough. But anyway, so that was good. And I also spoke at the library last Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
So promoting, just promoting, retaining and looking after the histories and creating.
Were you talking about the clock chime? You want to be in the building when that thing goes. It's out of alignment.
Ask Gina, I was only relating to what they said.
It's out of alignment and it rocks the hell out of that building. And we're sitting there, have their cup of coffees and talking and doing our thing for community, for Consafe. And next, bloody hell, the 6 coffees get spilt. And we're just about have to go to Lou in a hell of a hurry. It's not, it doesn't feel nice, it feels well out of balance.
Actually, I did just recall one other meeting that I got along to, and that was the Kihikihi residents and ratepayers. I think Gina and I were both there, but they gave Gina lots of jobs. I managed to squirrel my way out of not getting any this time round, but they seem to be pretty happy, don't they, Gina, with the way things are tracking. Really excited about the new playground. There was a bit of discussion on the cul-de-sacs and the cycleway, but largely really positive. They had Eric, thanks to Lou, go along to that meeting, so it was well received. So they're certainly very happy and appreciative of us, being more visible out there as well. So that's always good, nice feedback. And I was given the opportunity to put a little blurb in the newsletter. So that's also another opportunity there to just increase our profile. And I am planning to catch up with Natalie in regard to making us a little bit of a media plan going forward. So just as a heads up on that. Right, so item 13 is the date of our next meeting. So that is scheduled to be the 24th of May 2023 at 6 p.m. We've got the dates right on that one, eh? Every so often we have a little bit of an oops there. And then we just need to go to our late item. So in regard to the late item, the coronation of King Charles. From the sounds of things, no, not from the sounds of things, Mayor Susan has asked that the community board take the reins and organise an event for Te Awamutu to celebrate, commemorate, what's the right word, to acknowledge the coronation of King Charles. There's been a tree donated to be planted in Victoria Park. Have I got that right, guys? Yep. And apparently Cambridge are going to be having their band play and plant a tree. Are they doing anything else? Okay, not that we are aware of. So do we want to do something similar? Would someone like to take charge of organising a little event around the planting of the tree? Pretty much, but we need to decide what we're doing tonight so we can let Mayor Susan know to advise the comms team so they can get something into the paper. No time pressure. You're off to Wellington? Well, you can't do it from Wellington. That counts you out. Saturday Saturday the 6th of May. So we must have an urban miners the next day, aren't we? Pardon? Oh, true. I will have it, but in advance. Yeah. All right, let's go back a step. Let's not worry about who's going to organise it. What about some ideas? What would we like to do? Yep. And who are they playing to, though? I mean, we kind of need to somehow get some invitations out to some of those people that are keen to participate. And then I was wondering, I don't imagine they're a huge number, but
Keith's still around?
no, he's in Melbourne. I've already been there, tried that. Apparently in England, they're having a big lunch, he told me, to commemorate, to acknowledge the coronation.
Apparently they're spending £100 million.
We haven't got that much money. So depending on what we wanted to do, I wanted to just to say, do we need to allocate a little bit of money to do something? I need some ideas, guys. So we have a tree.
I'm thinking of a tree being planted and the band playing. That's all I've got.
I've already told you that. Well, we could do
That's
something. Well, we could do something like that. But Bag's not making the cucumber sandwiches, in which case, you know, anyone that does come along, we can share some cucumber sandwiches.
Coronation chicken.
Coronation chicken.
Sorry.
But it would be nice to make sure that there's an invitation out to those people that are keen on. Or the comms team will do something, but we just need to decide now what we're going to do, because like you pointed out, it's roughly a week. And no, we don't need to. Apparently Miss Susan's planting the tree.
Oh, is she doing?
My understanding is that yes, Miss Susan
Yep.
is planting the tree, that the location for the tree has been determined in Victoria Park. She will be there, and I think the time was off the top of my head, 9 a.m. Plant the tree. She's requested that the community board and the community just organise an event around the planting of the tree.
Sorry, so hang on. Victoria Park.
Is beside Taps
By
by the
by
band rotunda.
yeah, well, in by the croquet
Not
club,
online.
bowls club. Yeah.
Mm. So we could invite Te Awamutu Primary, Kapahaka, to come and do something. Well, I was just thinking of the primary school because they're right there. Yeah.
They have also a hardware or something.
I mean, just maybe a couple of things that are appropriate to make a little bit of a thing of it.
You had the band and you had your national anthem. They sing the national anthem, so.
Yeah, well, they did a thing at the business awards as well.
Yeah, so just worth thinking along those lines and using.
But
The other one is the musical All Sorts would sing for you too, by the way. That's Fiona Miller and crew that sang at the Anzac Day. You could get them. They could sing, you know, God Save the King, for example.
Remember Dean Taylor said it would be good.
Well, they don't.
Oh, that was for the fountain. All right, so what are we thinking? Would we like to get a few people along? Obviously, the press, with a bit of luck, some of the community are going to attend and come along.
We all sound very excited about it.
I know, remember you're online, so for those people that are watching.
No, that's probably the end of the evening. So I think the idea.
Mm.
Maybe we can talk about it offline.
Well, we can. So, but what we do need to decide online is, would we like to just allocate a little bit of funding in case we need it? We don't have to use it, but at least if we've got some there and we need to, we don't have to run around
Couple $100 with food or something,
panic.
sandwiches or something.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, wouldn't the council itself fund this?
Apparently not.
As a specific event?
I don't.
No.
Apparently there's no funding. So all I'm doing, Lou, is getting something. What I'm suggesting is that we say that we allocate up to this amount of money if we need it.
$300.
Because otherwise we can't spend any money, and it's definitely not going to be before.
Okay, so tree, band, club sandwiches, juice,
Yeah.
whatever, and then come on, put it on the paper, swears.
Sound all right?
Yep.
I think,
Oh, we can ask, we can find out if they're available to sing. Yep. Yep, we can do that. And we've got the band. Okay.
Yes, for the older people, because if they're doing the older people.
Yeah, we could probably just borrow some chairs from the school, hopefully. So, okay, all right. So we have a recommendation from Kane to spend up to $300. Does we think, oh, John? Oh, but we're quite, okay. So Kane's going to move that we have discretionary funding to spend on the coronation of King Charles up to $300.
So that the community board approves the expenditure of up to $300 plus GST from its uncommitted funds for the coronation King Charles event on 6 May 2023, with any unspent funds returned to uncommitted.
Perfect. So Kane, John seconding. All in favour? Against? Carried? Done deal. Okay. And so that will close our meeting after our karakia. Excuse me. So we'll just finish off with our closing karakia, which that's not the right one. Kua mutu a mātou mahi, mō tēnei wā, manakitia mai mātou katoa, o mātou hoa, o mātou whānau, ai o ki te aorangi. Our work has finished for the time being. Protect us all, our friends, our family, and peace to the universe. So the meeting's closed at 9:25.